SeatGeek is the easiest way to find the best deals on tickets to pretty much any live event. Concerts, sports, theater, comedy, whatever you want. Download the SeatGeek app today and enter promo code SEATS to save $20 on your first purchase.
Hey everybody, it's Therese Paylor, Chiefs beat writer with the Kansas City Star, and I'm back for another edition of Chiefs Game Plan. On Sunday, we have the Chiefs at 6-5, taking on the New York Jets at 4-7 at MetLife Stadium in New York. Got a great show for you today. I would like to welcome on Connor Hughes, the Jets beat writer. Connor's very good at what he does and comes on with a lot of information about why the Jets aren't as bad as everyone thought they were going to be, including him. He thought that was a 1 or 2 win team or 4-win team, and they've already got that amount of wins. We also talk about how to beat their offense and how to get after their defense. And then after that, we got an extended edition, A-Team weekly roundtable. We had the whole damn team. It was Blair Kirkhoff, myself, David Hewlett, Sam Mellinger, and Vi Gregorian. This was a great one, an absolute great one. We talk about what it must be like for Patrick Mahomes this week. We talk about whether the Chiefs should go to Mahomes and arguments against it. We talk about why Alex Smith is getting another shot. We also talk about all kinds of stuff. I mean, we've got just a fantastic show for you. So, Darrelle Revis facing his old team, the Jets. And then, Blair chips in with a quick reminder why it might be a little too early to bury these guys. So then after that, we make our predictions. So hope you guys enjoy it. I know you'll enjoy it. Without further ado, to kick things off, here's my interview with Connor Hughes, the Jets beat writer for New Jersey Advanced Media. Here we go. Okay, I'm pleased to welcome very good beat writer for the Star Ledger, NJ.com. Connor Hughes covers the Jets. Connor, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm great, man. Thanks for joining us. I think our readers would be very interested to hear what's going on in Jets land, considering the Chiefs are having their own problems. Can't believe this. Eli Manning's been benched before Josh McCown. What's been going on out there in Jets land, man? At 4-17, but McCown's still the guy. How's he been performing?
Yeah, I think that's kind of the thing because, Josh McCown really hasn't given the Jets any reason to bench them. And everybody was talking about, Josh McCown's only a short-term answer. Josh McCown will eventually get, benched, and eventually, one of the young guys will take over to be Bryce Petty or Christian Hackenberg. They were kind of saying that, assuming that the Jets were going to be really, really, really bad this year. That they were going to be a 1-15, a 2-14 ball club, and after 6 games, they'd be sitting 1-5, and then so you pull the plug on McCown and you go to the other guy. But the Jets haven't been that bad. Actually, they've been relevant, which is something kind of crazy to say, considering the dire expectations put on this team before the year. And one of the reasons why they've been relevant has been the play of Josh McCown. He's got right around I think it's like a 90-something quarterback rating. He has a career high in touchdown passes. He's been a tremendous leader on and off the field. He's making plays to help the Jets win. And, he's not great. He's not Tom Brady. I don't even think he's Alex Smith, but I mean, he's been a competent player at the quarterback position. And for a Jets team that is so young, that's been a big positive for them. So, as crazy as it sounds, why is Josh McCown the starter when Eli's benched, just a couple miles away? I think it's pretty much because Josh McCown really hasn't given the Jets any reason to bench him yet.
In August, how bad did you think this team is going to be?
I don't know if I can put it in the words, man. I mean, they looked so bad in training camp. I mean, they didn't have a receiver. They didn't have anybody that could catch passes. We were sitting here watching guys, including Robbie Anderson, who's come on as of late, drop 3 or 4 balls every single practice. About the only guy who looked like he could play was also Safarian Jenkins. Their running game was bad. They were letting up 10, 12 sacks a practice. I mean, the Jets looked like a terrible team, but really since they've started playing regular season games, they've been different, and it's been kind of that way since week 2. They got their what's handed to them by the Oakland Raiders, but since then it's really been a positive stepping stone for this team. They haven't won that many games because there are still talent issues on this squad, but they've been better and they've gotten better. So you've kind of seen them, you've seen them improve, and the steps that this team's taken since those August practices, man, it's been crazy. Because I'll tell you what, I think my prediction was 4-12 for this team back in August, and I was being generous with those 4 wins.
Wow. And you know what? You mentioned McCown playing better than expected, a big reason for them being better than you think. But what else has been going right for the Jets, man?
I think they've started to get some play from Robbie Anderson. Really, I think that's been a really big positive for this team, that they've got a guy that is no longer just a deep threat. You know, Robbie last year when he was a rookie, you saw signs that obviously he had tremendous speed and he had good hands, so you kind of figured he could be someone that could stretch the field, you know, maybe like a poor man's Mike Wallace or something, but you didn't really think he could ever be a number one guy or a rounded out wide receiver. But he's made tremendous strides this year. He was off the map a little bit earlier in the season, only getting a handful of targets a game, but he's really, really come on as of late. I think it's 6 touchdowns in the last 5 games. You know, and a big reason for that, he's kind of figured out how to run the route tree. He's developed a lot as a receiver, so they're getting a lot of stuff from him. The defense has been a little bit better than expected in terms of the secondary. Jamal Adams and Marcus May look like they're the real deal. Cornerback Morris Claiborne has been really good as of late. You know, the defensive line's getting better as Mo Wilkerson and Leonard Williams get healthy. You know, and aside from that, I think honestly, I think it's been the play of Josh McCown. I think that's kind of a big thing, is that the Jets have a competent guy there at quarterback. He's not great. He's not Tom Brady. He's not going to light everybody up, but they've got competent play there. And when you've got that, and then you've got solid coaching, and you've got an offensive coordinator that looks like he's got some pretty good tools there in terms of developing into a good play caller in John Morton, so things start to click. And the Jets have had the ball bounce their way a couple times. They've had it bounce their way not bounce their way a couple times, and that's why they're sitting at 4-8. But you know, one of the reasons why they've been pretty solid, you know, they're other guys, like I said, Darian Jenkins is a big one. Robbie Anderson is another one. Jermaine Kearse, the guy they traded for from the Seahawks, has been a big acquisition for this team as far as just a veteran, solid player in that receiving room. But outside of that, I really think it does fall on the shoulders of Josh McCown. He's got the team playing good football.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. Are we sure this is what's best for the Jets? They might be playing themselves out of the Darnold sweepstakes, man.
Well, you know, that's the thing, is that you've kind of got away. And I think that was the issue with the Jets going into this season, is that you kind of had a coach that was coaching for his life because you didn't think Todd Bowles was going to survive a 1-15, 2-14 year. So he was trying to win, but you also had management that seemed to have their eyes set to the future, and ownership that was talking about how, you know, we just want to see progress. This isn't about wins and losses. So you kind of had 2 different agendas going at the same time, but it is starting to round itself out. I mean, the Jets at 4-8 are a game out of the number 3 pick in the NFL draft. You know, they've got a really daunting schedule coming down here. Obviously, the Chiefs are a pretty good team that they play this Sunday. Then you've got the Patriots still on deck, road games against the Denver Broncos and the New Orleans Saints. I know the Broncos have their problems, but they're a tough team to play in Denver. And then you also have the surging Chargers. So, I mean, it is easy to see this thing getting away from the Jets. And, you know, the thing to remember, too, is they have lost 5 of their last 6 games. If they make it 6-7 with a loss against the Chiefs on Sunday, you might start to hear those rumblings, some legitimate rumblings about a quarterback change. So, you know, you can make the argument that they're hurting themselves in the long run, but at the same time, I mean, they were in a unique situation where you had a coach that wanted to win, other people who obviously wanted to see how things were going to shake out in the NFL draft and get a top pick, and you kind of got this of what you've got right now.
Okay. When the Jets have struggled on offense, what have defenses done to them?
So sorry, what was that? Sorry, it broke up a little bit.
No, that's okay. When the Jets have struggled on offense, like what is it? Like what have the defenses done to make that happen?
Pressure the quarterback. I mean, the Jets' offensive line, I think, has been one of the disappointments of this unit. You know, I know looking at it beforehand, where you had James Carpenter and Brian Winters, 2 guys you believe were pretty good guards. You had Kelvin Beachum, a guy they signed, Brandon Shell, who was coming into his own as a second-year right tackle, and then Wesley Johnson, who was replacing Nick Mangold. You thought that was going to be a pretty good unit. You know, not the Dallas Cowboys, but you thought they were going to be pretty good. And they've struggled at points this year. I mean, the Jets really haven't been able to get too much going on the ground game, absent a game or 2 here or there where they've been able to get something going. And Josh McCown's been hit a lot. I mean, I think he's in the top 5 in the NFL, both in times he's been sacked and times he's been hit. So, you know, where the Jets' offense has had their issues has been where their blocking has broken down, both in terms of running but also pass protection. You know, that's been an issue for them a couple times this year.
All right, just a couple more things before I let you go. What's been going right for the Jets' defense, man?
It's been those 2 safeties, man. They look, and I know it's early. I know their NFL careers are just 12, 13 games long, but Jamal Adams and Marcus May look like the real deal. I mean, the Jets look like they've hit home runs with both those guys. I know Jamal Adams gets a lot of the hype being, you know, kind of the more boisterous player and you know, the guy out of LSU, the high pick, number 6 overall, but Marcus May has been just as good. I mean, that's a guy that can cover. He can play zone. He can play man. He packs a punch when he hits. He's kind of like a silent assassin almost in that he doesn't talk. He doesn't celebrate. He's never going to, give these big thrusts or speeches or scream or yell or garner back page headlines. But the guy just is a good football player. And then Jamal Adams looked like he could be, a player like an Earl Thomas level, Cam Chancellor type guy where he can do it all. And he is one of the best players in the NFL for a couple years to come, once he develops a little bit. But, this defense, they've got some players now, and two of the big ones, and one of the reasons why this defense is so much better than they were last year is the play of those two rookies, man. Jamal Adams and Marcus May, they're the real deal.
All right, sounds good. Last thing, man, when teams have gotten after the Jets defense, man, what have they done?
It's kind of been a combination of run and pass. I know that's really kind of cliche to say, but it has been that. I mean, it's been different things. When they've been able to get the Jets on their heels in terms of run the ball and establish a run game, and then get the Jets to bring those safeties up in the box to stop the run and then hit them with the big pass. I mean, that's kind of when they've had their ability. This is a young Jets team, so when you get on them and you start dominating them a little bit from the start and from the go of things, you can shake them a little bit because they haven't learned as much how to come back from behind and realize that you might be down 2 or 3 scores, but there's still a lot of time left to erase that deficit. So teams that have been able to kind of establish the run game to then hit the Jets with the pass or jump on them early have had some success. So if you're going to beat the Jets, it's kind of what you got to do is get them early.
Okay, as always, we go with a prediction. What's yours for Sunday, my man?
I think the Chiefs are going to win this one, man. I know the Kansas City didn't look too good the last time they came to MetLife, but I think they'll have some success here. The Jets are reeling. They've lost 5 of their last 6 games, and I think this might be the last start for Josh McCown at quarterback for the Jets to make a little bit of a switch there. I think that switch could become in the final 4 games if the Jets lose here. So, I'll go Kansas City. I don't think it'll be a high-scoring game, though. Maybe like 24-10, 24-16, something like that. I
will tell you that the last 3 beat writers I talked to have all picked the Chiefs to win, and it is not.
And Chiefs lose.
They lost. So this could be number 4. But Connor, really great insight, man. I really appreciate your time. Let me know if I can help you, okay?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for taking time. I appreciate it.
All right, my man. Thank you.
Okay, good stuff there from Connor. Let's go to our A-Team Roundtable. Here we go.
I will point at you when we're ready to go.
You already hit your thing, Trev?
Let's see. TP. Let's go.
TP, instantaneous.
Rolling Trev.
See, this is that unpredictable. Like all day just dragging, and now we're in it.
We are in it.
And you're on fumes.
Let's go. We're in.
Let's go.
What's up, everybody? It's Therese Paylor, Chiefs beat writer with the Kansas City Star, and I'm here with the whole A-Team, which already has more juice than the Chiefs displayed on Sunday. No?
We've won 5 of our last 6, I think.
That's Blair Kirkhoff. How you doing?
Doing great. Hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving.
As do I.
As do I. Good to be here. Good to be with you.
Yeah, good to be with you guys, too. And Sam, the wild card.
Thanksgiving's the best.
Yeah. the lion of the Star.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll take it.
Yeah, the prince of the city, Sam Bellamy.
The X Factor.
Not based on his mane, though. That's
That's not even glass houses. That's like
sorry, Sam.
brick and mortar houses.
Right. That was a shot across all of our bows.
It's true.
Blair's the only one with a full head of hair in this room. Euclid's bald. I'm getting there.
Just the 7-footer over here making short jokes.
Yeah.
Really, not since he just eviscerated Jim Thomas about not having an NFL team. Has Blair taken a shot like that
He was due.
at the Follicly Challenge.
if we hadn't been talking about it.
Meanwhile, Blair's the oldest one of all of us, and his hair is just rock solid,
Yes.
dude. Like, just...
Same as his prom.
that is right out of 1972 right there. That is to be envied, okay?
More ways than one.
All right, so we're off to a rollicking start.
Let's go.
Look, the Chiefs are 6-5. By some miracle, these guys are still above 500, and they're facing a team that's not very good, the New York Jets. they haven't been as bad as we all thought they were going to be. You know what I mean? But at 4-7, this is a team the Chiefs should be able to go in and beat theoretically. But the question is, are they going to be able to go in there, pull themselves together, and put together a complete enough game to win on the road in a stadium they were just at that is unbelievably sterile and not very much fun to play in? I'm telling you, there's going to be no energy in that stadium. There's going to be no juice there at all. The Chiefs are going to have to pull within themselves to get it. But we'll talk about that. Look, we got a great show for you. We know you guys want to talk about the quarterback. We'll do that. We're going to talk about what this week must be like for Patrick Mahomes, who's the most popular player in Kansas City right now. We're going to talk about what this week must be like for Alex Smith, who is the opposite of that. Blair, we're going to talk a little bit about how this team's been in a 1-5 hole before.
Yep, sure has.
They've gone 1-5 in 6 games. What did they do?
They did the exact opposite. They won as many games as was left on the schedule that year.
So we're gonna go through that again and see if we can draw some parallels, and we'll also talk about Darrelle Revis's upcoming debut against the Jets, his old team, which should be fun. And finally, we'll answer your good questions. We're not going to answer all of them. We're going to answer your good ones, okay?
Yeah, these people had a good Thanksgiving based on those questions.
They did.
You got Sunday night.
Yeah.
There was
They were ready to.
They were ready to unload on these guys because I understand it. This team is frustrating. There's a lot of things to dissect. The number one thing being the offense and the quarterback play, which leads us to our first topic. People are calling for the rookie. They want Patrick Mahomes. For various reasons, that might not happen. This offense is built for Alex Smith. This offense, the whole plan has been for Pat not to play this year, even though he's the number 2 quarterback. There haven't been preparations made for him to play. Okay, so that means that even if they lose on Sunday, Alex is probably still going to be the guy, barring just a total collapse. So with that in mind, Sam, what do you think this week is like for Patrick? Because if he has to prepare to play every week as a number 2, but if the plan was for you to never play, do you think there's any chance of, shock or the moment being too big for him at all?
Not from what we hear from people who know him well. And I guess for me, I'm thinking mostly of his college coach, Cliff Kingsbury, and some of the things he said. I remember talking to Cliff at Big 12 Media Days in Dallas, and I said something like, you want him to sit, right? That's best for him. And he was like, I think that's what they want him to do, but I'll tell you this, I know I like the kid and whatever, but I just know how competitive he is and how talented he is, and how good of a coach Andy is, and if there's a situation where they have to play him, they can scale some things back, and he can get you through, and he's going to make some plays that are going to help you too. So I don't think that Pat Mahomes would be a complete, just utter disaster if he had to play.
This isn't Achilles Smith.
Yeah, and if he was, you made a terrible pick.
Right.
And a terrible trade. But anyway, to answer your question more specifically about what this week is like for him, he better know. And whether it's because Matt Nagy or Andy Reid or one of his old coaches or mentors or whatever has told him, or maybe he just knows that this is a really important week for him. He's not going to play on Sunday unless Alex gets hurt. But this is an important week for him in how he carries himself. Yeah. And he better be the exact same that he's been the first 12 weeks of the season, including the bye. He better carry himself like that, like a professional, because I think people are watching him, and he knows. And some of this is because Alex has been so bad the last 2 weeks, but some of it too is you're not going to get 53 people to agree on anything. Some people in that locker room probably want him to play and want to see what he's like. Mm-hmm. And he knows that, but he better carry himself like a professional and like a respectful rookie.
Absolutely.
It's interesting to picture what's going through his head that might be different than when Alex was thriving, right? I mean, now there's got to be the public part or what he exudes with his teammates, but you really wonder what the internal monologue is, and there's no way to know. I mean, I don't think he would ever say, I really think now I should be playing. But it's interesting to wonder how he's changed his own view.
Well, I will say I think Patrick strikes me as a guy who loves football. And I think guys who are competitive, who love football, as much as he seems to love it, right? Haven't you gotten that sense, Sam?
Absolutely.
Haven't you guys been talking to people?
No doubt.
Have you guys ever gotten the sense that this guy kind of lukewarm on football?
No, I think he's all in, and part of why I think he's all in. Some people are chosen by football, and I think that Pat kind of chose football.
I do
He
too.
was he was a draftable.
Yeah.
I mean, his daddy was a
professional.
baseball player. He could have done that.
It's a safer career path,
Yeah.
right? And he chose football. Like he gave up something that he loved and that he was really good at. And that was a high draftable, third round or higher kind of, as a pitcher. Pedigree, obviously, with his dad, and he chose football because this is what he loves to do.
I think there's a lot to be said for that. The only reason I bring that up is that if he's really built that way, which we think he is, there's a great chance that he's actually like excited.
Yeah.
That he's just he's starting to think, with the right break, here I go. And if that happens, he will come in and start slinging it. Like there is no way he won't. The problem is he's still raw enough that after a couple games, defensive coordinators will see like what he does well and all the things he misses. And you could have like a multi-game stretch where it's ugly while he's learning it on the run, on the fly, how to spot these things they're forcing him to do he's not comfortable doing. I think they'd rather have this play out with a whole off season of preparation.
Oh, yeah.
The thing that's complicated a little bit about this, by the way, is the threshold for when you would say, we got to get him ready for next year. Because what's weird is, all right, let's say they lose to the Jets. Well, I think one of you guys pointed this out in our Sunday night thing. The next two games are the ones that are going to actually dictate whether they go to the playoffs. I mean, maybe it's not that simple, but it's close to that. So, now you're talking about 1 or 2 games left if it turns out that they have, just plummeted completely. So I'm just saying, I don't know that you wouldn't see a scenario where they'd say we're 6-6, it's go time. I don't
That's
think.
tough. I think those 2 games being rivalry games,
Yeah.
which Andy always schemes up well. Here,
Record proves it.
right. I think Alex should probably start those games. I think that's what they think. I think they think Alex should start, even no matter what happens on Sunday. I think that's kind of where I'm at right now. I think that's what they think. And if they stay in the tank, okay, you're 6-8 at that point. Now there's really no reason not to play Pat. You get a jump start on next year that way. But at least that way you
agree.
got. At least
think
that
so.
way you
That's
got it
right.
figured
Yeah.
out. You know.
So the question to me, it's a simple question. Does Patrick Mahomes now give you a better chance to win a game? Right now, given circumstances we don't know. Has he been taking first-team reps in practice? We don't know that. We could ask, but we wouldn't find out the answer to that. Are the things that the Chiefs are doing wrong besides Alex Smith something that Pat Mahomes could overcome?
Could cover for you.
Cover for. And I don't know if that's the case, especially when we talk about the offensive line and what's not happening there and what's not happening with the running game.
Yep.
So what Patrick Mahomes could bring to the Chiefs that maybe Alex Smith isn't now is a fresher approach, a little bit more of elusiveness. Even though Alex has that, but Mahomes is just younger, fresher.
The creativity.
Yeah, creativity.
Yeah.
Good word for it. But is it enough to give to answer the question? Does that give the Chiefs a better chance to win a game? I don't think it does.
I
just
tell you,
don't.
I tell you one thing though. You play cover 2 against Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
There's going to be some deep balls up that sideline you don't want to have happen.
That's the thing. He walks in, the first snap he takes, he's better at certain things than Alex Smith is.
Yeah,
Without a doubt. I mean, there's a lot of things he's not as good.
Right.
But he does have those 2 things.
But you take a look, and there are some recent examples of this, right? Just this season, it happened in Buffalo, and Buffalo was a disaster,
Yep.
right?
That's true.
It's going to happen with the New York Giants this week. We'll see what happens with the Giants with Geno Smith taking over for Eli Manning. But it also happened with the Houston Texans, and that was a great success. When Deshaun Watson took over for Savage, and before he got hurt, Deshaun Watson was the toast of football. So it happens both ways.
A question along these lines that ties into this about whether he would overcome or make up for things that Alex is not clicking with. How much do you feel like? What is Andy really talking about when he says there's all these other things? I mean, is he talking about?
Oh, I got the answer
there's-
for you on that.
But how much? Well, the one specific thing you go all in, but the one thing I wanted to allude to specifically is there really a problem with guys cutting routes off at 12 instead of 17, or vice?
The side adjustments are a massive problem. Okay, like Chris Conley is very valuable because he's smart, football smart.
My guy.
As a tier,
In football, there are things called side adjustments. I've talk about them a lot. In short, a lot of the West Coast offense is predicated on making adjustments mid-play. So if you're a receiver, you need to be able to analyze the defense before the snap. And then after the snap, you have to adjust your route based on what the defense is playing, depending on the concepts of the coverage. If that sounds difficult, it's because it is, unless you're naturally football savvy. Chris Conley had that down like really good, and he had it down good enough that he could line up at different receiver positions, understand that terminology, and adjust his route based on where he lined up and the concept of the play. That is not easy to do. This offense is not plug and play easy to go.
Sometimes two guys might go to the same place.
Yeah, and those are not even Demarcus Robinson.
That
was
doesn't happen
involved,
at this league. It never happens at this level.
That was two guys who know the offense were involved in that. You know, Ty and
Albert, yeah.
And by the way, just to cut to them specifically, are both those guys? They're youngish still, Ty especially, but are they good at this?
well, Albert is.
But
Albert's.
Ty has some work to do.
Well, Ty's okay too. Like it generally, the talk I hear about that doesn't center around those guys, and it never centers around Albert. Albert always knows where to go. Ty has better football intelligence than you probably think.
But that's not always the same as being able to have this rather complicated, intricate system down in his second year.
Yeah. I mean, it's he's okay though. Like I was surprised that Ty's actually pretty football.
So
smart.
who's struggling? DeMarcus.
Yeah, he's picking that up. But it happens with Ty too, though. Like the last play of the game, that was a miscommunication between Alex and Ty.
Sure.
It happens with him. It just, from what I've been told, it rarely happens with Albert. But the point is, it's not just that though. And also Travis is really solid too. But like, it's not just that. Like this offensive line, guys.
They're having problems.
The movement at the point of attack, man. Like, this is not the same line we saw in September. And they might be playing now, but you never know with offensive linemen how healthy they are because they're tough guys. And the best ability for an offensive lineman is availability. So
Yeah, the center and the right guard, right?
it might be more.
Yep.
Everything doesn't get reported. Like, guys get hurt. And, you do whatever you want with that information. I'm just saying, there's reasons that this line is just not moving people the same way they were. Their technique is off. It's sloppy. There's a breakdown every play. Somewhere. It's not
It
the
really
whole
does
line.
seem to, like, if you go through the tape, right, like it's, on that play was the left tackle.
Yeah.
On that play was the right guard.
right.
On that play was the left guard. Like, it seemed like it was a different person each day. A lot of times it was the left tackle,
Right.
if we're going to be completely honest. But he was not the only one. But the right tackle had some problems. The right tackle had more problems than...
But my favorite moment was and Vi and I talked about this during the game, was the Kareem Hunt carry where the left guard ended up behind Kareem. Kareem had the ball, looked like he was blocking for...
As his head got pulled back, he saw, hey, that's where you are.
And that was that's Zach Fulton that we're talking about. And was that the play? Sometimes I get him confused. Where the nose guard just kind of ran right by him. Was that, or was that a different play where he kind of stepped back and the nose guard ran through?
I know what
or
I
was
wanted.
that a different one?
I know what I wanted to say. I think that was a different one.
Different
But
play.
some of these blocks they're being asked to make are really difficult.
Yeah.
Like some of these blocks are really difficult to make. Like that's a coaching thing. Like there's one play, they're asking Zach Fulton, the left guard, to reach like a nose tackle on a zone run. Who's the line? So if Zach Fulton is here, and the center is here, right? And the defensive lineman is here. They're asking this Zach Fulton to come all the way and cut that guy off. This is the NFL. That's a borderline impossible block in my opinion. There's got to be a way to simplify that scheme to cut some of these angles down. So it's not even just the performance of the players. Some of these blocks are really difficult to make. They tweaked the scheme in the bye week. It hasn't worked running the ball. They tweaked some of their blocking scheme. It hasn't worked. They have to go right back down to high school and college fundamentals on some of these blocks. Seriously, like that's where we're at right now. And that's not like easy to hear. That's not great to hear, but that's where we're at. Because, if they can't execute and like as far as like reaching your block, not winning the block, I mean just reaching there, getting there. You've already lost at this level, okay? And it's not going to get easier. It's not going to get easier. You know, you can come up against some teams that can get penetration. And Ndamukong Suh's coming.
Yeah, how's that going to go?
You just hope it's a really cold day. Really cold. He doesn't want to be there.
You know, you hope they're out of the
entirely possible,
playoffs.
by the way.
They're going to be out of the playoffs. I know.
Hoping that Ndamukong Suh just doesn't want to be there is actually a pretty good strategy. Just has a decent success rate.
The number 2 thing, don't talk to him. No inciting that bear. You don't want any of that. Even Sue, who's not in his prime. So, look, there's a lot going on with this. It's not just Alex.
Let me go back to one of those. Okay, yeah, so this is related to Alex. All right, what was he, I can't remember the numbers now, 22 or 36, something like that, Saturday. 14 incompletions, something like that. I don't know the exact number. Out of those, including the handful that looked just way off, right? How many of those are, in fact, what you see is what you get, that, oh, he just threw a bad pass? And how many are, as you just noted, ties a couple yards off, he's throwing before the cut?
It's hard to tell. That's the problem. It's hard to tell. Because sometimes, like, it's hard to tell the difference between, like, a bad pass and a route that wasn't run at the correct depth.
Yeah.
Because the accuracy can be off here or there or there or there, but if the guy had run the right route, it would have been right on the money.
And more
So
often
it's
than not,
tough
he's
to
throwing
tell.
before the cut because of the
Right.
anticipation where he's
Right.
going.
And Harris could be better at throwing anticipation. He actually doesn't do that as well as but right.
Anyways, I don't know.
Unless it's been
It's a
schemed.
rhetorical question in a way.
No,
I don't know
I
how
get it.
many, but it's a true thing that's a factor.
The point is, ball watchers are just looking at the quarterback saying he stinks, and he's not playing well. And you can call me an Alex apologist if you want. Quite frankly, I don't care because you're not doing the work I'm doing or talking to the people I'm talking to. It's not just that. You like that?
I always like it.
Yeah,
It's one of my favorite parts of the show.
What is it? It's just when I give him the corporate elbow. Yeah. I came by the corporate thing honestly.
Yeah.
Believe me. I think you're in the corporation with me, to be honest.
Sometimes I dabble.
Yeah, you do. I will tell you, the questions we get and the feedback we get when team's bad, not quite so flattering. We've had to drop the elbow on some people this week, Sam. Both of us.
Corporate suplex.
There was a nice little exchange that I noted that your response was simply, "Thanks, we know what we're doing." And it got the best part of all, there were some nice riffs off it, but the one I enjoyed the most was just that Andy McCullough liked it.
Oh, yes. Did he really?
Oh, yeah.
He sees the bat signal of somebody being like rude to somebody on Twitter. He's like,
Well, to be honest, he deserved it. Like, hey, don't suggest questions for me.
And by the way,
okay?
he did come back. He did come back, and
He did,
sort of
right.
say he didn't mean to come out the way it did.
Yeah, everything I ask, there's a reason for it. I know what I'm doing, okay? I got it. I got this. They pay me for this. I got it.
been doing this a few years.
Yeah, okay. I feel like Andy when we ask him scheme questions, like, hey, I know what the problem is. Okay, I got
I've
it.
been doing this a few years.
Right? Okay.
I'm going to get Therese a coffee mug that says, I know what I'm doing.
Okay. Right here. Just leave it right here. A giant mug. So what do you guys think this week must be? Oh, but that's not the best part of it. The best part was your response to the one guy who was like, I know it's not easy, but you guys have to get after Andy in these press conferences and be really aggressive. You're like, you know what? Totally fair. We should just tie him up in a basement and blast him in the face with a light bulb.
Answer the question!
Totally fair criticism. And you left it at that, which gave me an opportunity to do my Pete Campbell Mad Men chuckle gif that I've been waiting to use for a long time. So happy. Okay. What do you guys think this week is like for Alex? Because he went from being like the toast of the league to being, I mean, this cannot be an easy week for this guy, man.
I can't believe how far and how fast. And the thing that I keep going back to, too, like we're talking a lot about, you know, the side adjustments and, you know, these little things. Like his confidence is wrecked. And it's not all his fault because he doesn't have confidence in the offensive line. Well,
Yeah.
it comes by that, honestly.
Yeah.
And when he's throwing the ball, he can't have confidence that anyone, maybe outside of Travis Kelce, right, is going to be where he needs him to be. And there's just there's a lot of circuit overloading with him that seems to happen when other things are going wrong and he's lost that confidence. There's just the play the other on Sunday on the third down when he scrambled and he was going to the left and Demarcus Robinson was wide open and in his field, in his field of vision, if Alex's eyes were anywhere other than right in front of him, Demarcus Robinson was wide open near the sideline
for a first down.
Yeah, and he decided to take it himself and run, and that to me is just the portrait of a quarterback that has no confidence right now.
Yeah, I agree. He's got a.
Maybe it was mine before he had to.
Yeah.
And,
The good thing is that he's 34. He's been doing this a long time. So this isn't the first time he's been in the hole. He's been in the hole.
Well,
he's been in the pit before.
And that's a reservoir for him, isn't it? I mean, he's isn't he? I mean, he'll lean on that this week. Won't
He will.
And remember, I mean,
This is what makes him special, though. Like as a person.
Yeah.
Like the way he answers our questions hasn't changed. He's actually been kind of like a rock, like throughout all this. After these disappointing losses, he's been beat up. He's been awful. He's the same guy, trying to be thoughtful, There's something to be said for that, because like a leader needs to be that way.
And understanding his predicament and understanding where the team is. I don't think he's, I don't think he's trying to sugar. It's not like Andy. He answers questions certainly more thoroughly than Andy Reid does. And I'm always impressed with Alex
Alex,
Smith.
the man.
Yep.
Right.
We can have these two thoughts, right? That Alex the last 2 weeks has stunk, but still be incredibly impressed with Alex the guy.
Right.
And he had some like he comes from a very strong, good family and all that stuff. But he's faced like so much. So this is not like came up in a single parent household and poor or whatever. But beyond that, he's faced a ton of adversity in his life. This is not a guy that's going to get shook by, drafted when he was 20 years old by an absolutely dysfunctional and completely BS organization.
And asked to carry the mail.
Yeah.
Start when he wasn't ready
he
at
was
all.
not. This was not a football prodigy. He told me when he first got here, we did this interview, and he said, kind of off to the side, I only played one game in college where I knew that I was even a draftable, professional quarterback. And I was like, well, you don't mean that literally. He's like, no, literally. His bowl game, I think it's Fiesta Bowl or whatever. His junior year. He said that was maybe even sophomore year if he redshirted. But he said it was the only time that he ever played knowing that there was a chance that he could be a pro. He said that there were more reporters at his first OTA with the 49ers than any college game he played except for that last bowl game. This was not a football prodigy. He played in high school. Reggie Bush was his teammate. That's who people were watching. It was the guy. It wasn't the guy handing the ball to So he has been through all this adversity. The 1-5 coming back from it. He missed a season because the freaking doctor for the 49ers left a wire in his shoulder and they had to go back and get it. So that just cost him a whole year. He's playing the season of his life, gets concussion, loses his job, and they lose the Super Bowl by 5 yards. This is a guy that's been through some
professionally
adversity.
big
So
time.
this is not. I'm not telling you that Alex Smith is going to be a great quarterback and be the first 7 weeks Alex the rest of the time. But if he's not, it's not going to be because he's shook and can't handle it. And that to me is why seeing this confidence right now is a little bit jarring.
I figure, though, he's hitting some kind of... He's got to have some mechanism. All those things you just said, I'm figuring he's got some kind of mechanism for going back to basics on letting... Whatever it is, letting go, flushing, whatever. So there's something there in him. And you can just see it in all the equilibrium he has on everything. My gosh, he's the guy who... Even after that Cowboys loss, he played along on the potato sack range.
He did.
That has nothing to do with anything, but I felt the need to mention that.
But isn't it all the more... It makes it all the more apparent that he alone can't lead a team the way other quarterbacks can, or can't pull a team out of the fire. That he needs things around him to be, ideal.
Very good point.
Or
at least,
And we didn't think that maybe in the first 5 games we were lulled into a little false sense of security, but everything clicked.
Everything was going right around.
Everything was, yeah. So now everything is terrible. I mean, it really is. On the offensive side, everything is terrible. The offensive line has been bad, and Kareem Hunt's not, because of the offensive line, Kareem Hunt's been limited. Wide receivers running the wrong routes. And he can't make it happen. He can't make it happen.
A lot of it is too, this is no secret. This is no secret that you needed the right pieces around him to be. They knew this 5 years ago.
They knew it ever
Why isn't the line better right now? They knew this 5. We've known this 5. They've had 5 drafts to improve this line
So
and coach them up better.
That, as much as anything, is the biggest reason for the pessimism, I think, going forward, is that if you think about it, and this is something I'm going to write about either today or tomorrow, like this team now, they've got 5 games left that are going to completely dictate how the last 5 years are measured. And this is not at all, so this is an absolutely crucial stretch. They're free falling, and this is not at all the team, even a little bit of what they expected to have for the stretch.
Yes.
That is a lot of problems.
And I will also tell you this too. Another thing that gets, why haven't they been able to develop and draft a number 2 tight end that's like Anthony Fasano?
Yeah.
Especially the way they use tight ends.
Right.
As important as tight ends are to
Yeah.
this offense.
Right. Like
And
if you had
they made a move just this week.
if you have faith, right? If you have faith in Demetrius Harris, okay, but you better be right. You didn't draft him. You developed him. You signed him as Well, now you release Ross Travis and call up Orson Charles because Orson Charles apparently can block. There were tight ends. There have been tight ends the last 5 drafts you could have taken. Where are the 2 tight end sets to help the offensive line? Well, Alex is struggling. Where's the game plan against Oakland a year ago? You remember that game with the shifts and the 2 tight ends and the heavy personnel? And it's all you're doing is running the football. And you're play action and you're making it easy. And that's how Alex wants it to be anyway.
Yep.
Like, where's that stuff at?
That's how Tyreek went for 70 and 60. Against, was it Oakland last year when it was a great hole. I remember the hole, and Kelsey had a great block on that play, and that's a great point that they don't have. It's not there.
It's how Alex Smith had a perfect. Speaking of Oakland games, how Alex Smith had a perfect passer rating at Oakland, basically by throwing screen passes to
5 screen
This-
pass touchdowns or something.
This
right?
offense should have always been built around a power run game, a dominant offensive line, 2 tight ends. You already got the Kelsey part. And then like a number 2 tight end that can block and catch the ball. He doesn't have to make people miss. But it always should have been built around that. Yeah. And then, because when you do that, you make teams respect the run. It makes it bigger windows for Alex to throw into deep. I know this is all 2020. Hindsight's 2020. The offense looked great the first 5. I got it. But like what you saw the first 7 weeks is what you would get with Alex if the offensive line was better. If the play calling was more power oriented. He's always been that kind of quarterback. And the offensive line's not in the coaching, in addition to Alex, again, it's a lot. It's more than just him.
One little thing about that I would add, though, is it's not just like we need to decide to have a power run game. They don't have an offensive line that can pull off a power run game right now. And that means that these, Zach Fulton needs to get to that block, because they're not gonna push up front.
They have to be deceptive with their blocking.
Yes. The timing has to be perfect.
Right.
It has to be like that. It can't be like that. It's got to be like
Right.
absolutely. They've got to nail it.
Yeah, but there's one thing to be optimistic about Blair. They've been in this hole before, haven't they?
They have. They started 1-6 or 1-5 to open 2015, and different teams, different personnel. The quarterback's the same. A lot of maybe half the offensive started the same. Justin Houston was hurt most of that year, but came back and had a monster stretch. But here's the thing I remember most about, and what's pertinent about that start versus this start. When the Chiefs were going 1-5 to open 2015, we spent maybe a day over here because the rest of the time the whole city was captured by the Royals. The Royals were their postseason run.
That's right.
You were here all the time. Nobody else was here.
I was the only.
Yes. So they were doing this, and people were mad, but they were distracted
Big
with
time.
the Royals. I mean, today the locker room was jammed full of media people.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to know what's going on.
It was. I had to park on the hill.
Yeah, we were all parking distant long walks to get here, but I don't listen. Whether that had anything to do with it or not, at least they did it in a little bit of anonymity, right?
Yeah.
And then they came back and beat Pittsburgh without Ben Roethlisberger, which was big. Landry Jones was the quarterback, and they went to London and beat the hapless Lions. The night that the Royals won Game 5
I
in New
didn't
York.
care. I had the time of my life. I was great. I was like, hey, Lions lost, whatever. Write this out, boom, boom, I'm going to Marble Arch. Let's go. Whatever. I'm going to Wimbledon. I didn't care. It was bye week, bye. I was done.
3-5. They have the bye week, and then the schedule got easier. When they started 1-5, it stayed easy really the rest of the year. But that was Jamal Charles got hurt, and they had to make do with Spencer Ware and Charkandrick West. Eric Berry was fantastic.
Yeah.
The last 2 months of that season. Marcus Peters was the defensive rookie of the year.
Yeah.
Seems like he had pick 6 almost every other game. A lot of good things happened after they started that.
God.
And it started in anonymity.
God, Peters was
Yeah,
so
the
good
day
that
after
year.
the dumpster Facebook Live, we went to Toronto.
That's right. We flew to Toronto from Minneapolis after the dumpster show.
All right, last thing we'll cover.
In the dumpster game, wasn't that when Donald Stevenson caused the fumble?
He did. He did. He knocked it out.
Was it Spencer
He stripped
Ware?
Sarkanic West.
Sarkanic.
I went to talk to Donald after the game about it. He's like, "Nah, man." But
I forgot. He stripped his own man.
last
Didn't
thing,
cover it either.
Did not.
Stripping.
last thing we'll talk about Darrelle Reeves to make his debut against the Jets. The Jets aren't a good football team, but I do think it'd be fun seeing Darrelle Reeves play. Now, he'll wear his number. He'll wear 24. I'm really kind of interested / excited to see what the guy's got left, because if he's just a smart player, and he doesn't have to move the way he used to, but if he's just a smart player, I think he could be really helpful. That's going to knock Terrence Mitchell probably out of the mix. Because Reeves start.
Who had a good game, by the way.
He did.
Against the Bills.
Good enough to make us think that why was there this 3 or 4 game stretch where he wasn't? Like, what was happening?
Good question.
At least he competes. I know that. And I'm not saying the other guys don't compete, but like he competes and like will make a play, right?
The Reeves thing too is a reminder, in some ways, not to pile on, but like how many problems they have, because they signed Reeves when they were in the process of trying to woo him here. It was because the defense was just a complete pile of hot garbage.
Yeah.
And, they've given up, 28 points in the last 2 weeks. So it looks a lot better, but they've also played 2 pretty bad, offenses the last 2 weeks. And it's just, anyway, to me it's a reminder of, like, the last time they played a decent offense, Dallas ripped them up pretty good. And they, the Raiders game in Oakland, they gave up 500 and whatever it was yards. I mean, it's just a reminder of how many problems this team has. Like, we've been focused so much on the offense and the quarterback specifically that we kind of forget how bad the defense has been.
Can we answer some questions, man?
Let's do it.
Okay. Fred Caballero says, "What if Smith gets hurt? What do they do then? Well, they're going to play Patrick." Let's see. What's the risk of losing that locker room if Andy doesn't have Mahomes working with the first team? If so, who are those players on the D? Well, that's a question from Rob Nassari, who's one of our loyal watchers. So thank you, Rob.
I'm sorry, he's asking
What's the risk of losing the locker room if Mahomes doesn't play this week?
if he does
This
not
week?
play this
Yes.
Oh, no,
I don't
that's
think
not going to be an issue.
I don't think it's in
I don't
play.
think so either.
Yeah.
Not this week. No. I talked to a couple guys. Just what about Alex and how does? And they both told me that Alex is their leader. The offensive guys. Alex is their leader.
Terrence Robinson says, "Can Alex Smith overcome his pre-snap reads? It appears he's not adjusting to the changes of zone coverages once the ball is snapped." Well, Andy likes it that way. Andy wants you to run the play. And he wants you to run the play that he's drawn up. It's been all this time game planning. That's what he likes about Alex. He can process the offense and like execute like what he does. So, they don't really want him to be that creative, or at least they're not asking him to do it because it's just not him.
Well, look, and even though all those have their own options within it, right?
Right.
I mean,
Yeah, I think, and the problem too is with the pre-snap reads, it's not getting into a different play; it's executing that play. Because I think there are times where, he thinks it's cover 3 because of what the linebacker does, but it's really cover 2, and that means Travis Kelce's open and doesn't get the ball.
Got a good question here from Terrence Robinson again, who says, "Can we talk about Reggie Ragland and him being the reason our defense is better? He's looking like a steal." Reggie's been good.
He has been.
And also, he's a good guy, man. Like, at least as far as, like, being in the room, I hear raves about his, like, football character, right? And that matters. And he's got a little, and he looks up to Derek. I think he's got a little DJ in him a little bit as far as being willing to talk and being there's some real positives happening with Reggie Ragland right now.
Why did the
in a
Bills?
big way?
Why did the Bills give up on him?
I don't know. They shouldn't.
What a fine for the Chiefs. What a good move.
Anybody got? Okay. Landon Allen says, and this is a great point. Let's not forget this either. How much of an impact has the Chiefs' most recent draft made this year?
Well,
We've gotten zero production from our first and second round picks. By the way, your fourth round pick is a special teamer that they like, but J.U. Chestnut hasn't contributed on offense.
only
very
one
much.
player. Only
Right.
one player. There was a Pro Football Focus stat, I think it was 2 weeks ago. The Chiefs have had the fewest starts by rookies of any team in the NFL.
I guess the fewest snaps too.
How does
I would
this
assume that's true.
How does this defense look if you don't trade for Patrick? Which I was for. I get it. I'm not, but I'm just saying, it would have made this team better to keep that pick, use it on Tre'Davious White, who ended the game, and then draft.
Part of poetry there.
And then there was second round guys you could have had. In fact, I'll look that up shortly. But there was things they could have done. There were guys they could have taken that could have helped them faster than the guys. And look, I liked them. I'm not being a hypocrite. Those were juice guys. I thought they were good picks. That was part of the deal. But that is part of the reason. Like, that is something to think about.
Well,
Sure.
drafting Patrick, wasn't that setting a tone for basically saying we think we've got what we want?
We're good. We're good for 2017.
And, the rest is to build for the future. I mean, not every pick was that way, but it
I listen. They were 12-4 a year ago, and brought back just about everybody. So, but I do think this is it's a good column to write over the last month of the season. Is what the 2017 draft. What they said at the time, and what it ended up becoming.
Yeah. So here's some guys that were taken after Tano Pasio. Yeah, we can do this now. Juju Smith-Schuster.
Oh man,
Juju's pretty
what
good.
a talent. You saw him in the Rose Bowl. Didn't
I
you?
did. Juju's good. They like Juju too, by the way. Alvin Kamara, who's really
He's
good.
going to end up being Rookie of the Year now, I think.
Yeah. Pat Elflein, the center for the Vikings. Juice guy, really good player.
Okay,
Big
right?
fan,
You know
big
how to
fan of
take
Pat
it.
Elflein.
Yeah.
Let's see.
They did work
I mean,
Tano. Tano got his season high snaps against the Bills.
Kareem Hunt's
14.
worked out.
And
More or
I
less.
think if you guys, whoever's seen the film, Tano played well. I mean, he was on the sack that Sorensen had. Tano was right there and forced the play to set up the Sorensen sack. I think we'll see more of Tano, especially if D4 doesn't play again.
Yeah, I mean, the point is, like, there's guys you could have taken that could have been, more immediately helpful, even if I like the ones that they took, right? I get that. I'm not being, let's say you didn't like Tre'Davious White. You could have taken Cam Robinson, the big tackle from Bama. I'm just saying, there's stuff. So look, they're gonna pay for that. Like that is what it is. You better hope that those guys pan out. I'm not being a hypocrite. Those are juice guys. I'm for it.
It's
I
a good
get it.
observation, though. By
Right.
It is.
But good job, Landon. Paul Lee DeSantis says, you guys think Kelsey's frustration was in the moment or is something building? He was open a lot Sunday, and we all know how Alex has played. Well, Kelsey wants the football. I'm sure that
Still leads teams in targets and receptions.
yeah. It's not like him and Macklin are competing for targets.
But he was ticked after that last play.
Yeah.
He was mad.
Did he throw his gloves up, or he did something to demonstrate?
Well, one thing he didn't do is he didn't go for the ball. When guy makes the interception,
Yeah.
and Travis didn't make a play for it. On it.
Jess Brady Logan says, hey guys, can you explain why when the defense is loading the box, why isn't Alex checking into a play to take advantage? Well, what we know is that Alex has more responsibility than most quarterbacks Andy's had. What we don't know is why he's not uncorking it deep if they're going to do that. I cannot tell you why. That is why I speculated that maybe he doesn't trust his arm right now. He has not looked the same since the Denver game, which he took some shots in. It just doesn't make sense. Like, Alex is not dumb, okay? He's smarter than anybody in this room. He's smarter than probably many of you watching, 98% of you watching. Like, this is not a hard thing. Like, people in Madden know what to do when they bring an extra guy. So there's a reason he's not doing it, right?
Definitely everybody in this room, for sure.
I mean, a Mensa candidate. Right?
Better hair than four of us, too.
He does. And like Alex is all tall, he just looks down on us. He sees our bald spots. Ty Love says, "Do you think the delay to bench Alex has anything to do with how his value will be affected for next year. No, I just think Andy's pretty stubborn and he believes in continuity, which is the way a good leader is, by the way. If he goes to Pat, that's it. Like,
You're right.
Pat's the guy. There's not going to be a Alex, return. That ain't happening. Okay. So,
There's nothing to do with how we feel about Alex.
hey, look, I still love the guy. Okay. Yeah. Hey. You think he's gonna be on the offensive in that press conference? Yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go with Patrick to start this game. This has nothing to do with Alex, right? I love the guy, right? But you make the best decision for your football team, so I'm gonna ask that you respect that. I've commented on that. I really prefer not to take questions about this. I'm saying it now to get out in front of it, and time's yours. And if this were Philly, it'd be like, yeah. So does this mean Alex sucks? I mean, Andy, I hear you what you're saying, but that doesn't really make a lot of sense to us. If you go to Patrick now, why didn't you go to him a month ago?
Hey, we didn't get to note this radical change in Andy on our Facebook Live session, but he really changed it up in his press conference today by saying he looked forward to the opportunity to play the Jets instead of the challenge.
I know.
Total slight, I think. Oh my God.
That's bulletin board stuff
Absolutely.
for the Jets.
Jordan Tribe says, is the Bills' loss worse than the Giants' loss? No. The Giants' loss was a complete embarrassment. Let's call it for what it is.
The Bills is bad in the sense that it's a double down after the wake up, right? After you just embarrass yourself, then you go and don't respond. And then
against the New York Giants, the Kansas City Chiefs look like absolute garbage right now. Let's just call it for what it is. Yeah. It's a new one, every one. I got something different for you. Every one I got. Is this what you were talking about when you say you never know?
Yeah.
Like I can come in and then that comes on.
Yeah, and then it's just on. Yeah,
Stephen A. Smith impression.
Yeah.
You just know.
Yeah, you can be dragging in here. Guys, I don't have it today. Dave Hewlett points. This is the best.
Brian LeBird says, it's true. It's not all on Alex. But doesn't a more talented QB cover for some of these issues? That's true. There's no denying that. That is true. The point was that you just knew what this guy was when you got him, okay? It's not, you ain't got 89 Montana out there, okay?
Yeah.
It is what it is. But no, that's true. Like, you put Aaron Rodgers back there, he probably win some of these games. I got you. Clint Miller says, with teams running cover 2, what adjustments do you think Andy's going to make outside of O-line schemes? Opponents are going to keep running. Yeah, you're right. They're going to keep running until it works. They're going to have to throw it in the alleys. Mm-hmm. And you throw deep, vertical, 4 verts. Let's go. That's how you beat cover 2. Alex is going to have to make some of those throws and force them out of it. That's really all it is. Oh, we have a comment from Miss Cindy Billhartz.
Oh, yeah, is that right?
Yes.
Cindy Billhartz.
She says, and you look good doing it, Therese. Ralph says hi.
Hey,
that's good.
Hey,
Yeah.
all right.
Thank you, Mama C. Appreciate that.
And happy birthday.
Oh, is that right?
Is it?
48 hours. 48 hours.
That
countdown.
counts.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Within
We're in the window.
Yep,
Yeah.
in the window.
Jordan
The month of Cindy.
Pressure on my head.
Hey, not easy having the combo in December, okay? A lot of pressure there. You got to deliver on that.
I hope you guys are all feeling pressure about January 28th for Therese and me. The birthday we share.
Oh,
Yes.
How about that?
Yeah, you
I
guys-
did Facebook Live just for that occasion. 18 Facebook Live.
Where will we be?
Literally, my stomach just dropped because I thought about my wife's birthday, Valentine's Day, and our anniversary are all in the span of 2 weeks.
Oh, my goodness. I thought I had it bad. I got the
Head on a swivel.
That's you got to deliver for each one. You don't get to combo that up. You don't get to do the combo. There's no like twin bill 2-pack. You got to just say, hey, this is for Valentine's Day. Hey, this is for the anniversary. Hey, this is for birthday. I don't get to cheat on the Christmas birthday combo. I gotta, hey, Christmas. Come back, hey, birthday. You don't get to cheat on that. You can't just combo the gift up.
Like literally, my stomach.
You can't. Yeah.
Send ideas.
How are you supposed to come up with 3? Oh my
Struggle.
They all got to be good too, because like a bad one could interact. You don't just get to live with the one and be happy for a few months. You kind of gotta. A bad one could hurt the way the other two are received.
But you got to make the first one great.
That's true.
The
yeah.
first one's got to be great.
Set the tone.
Set the tone.
What's the first one?
Set the tone. I think we may. Well, actually, her birthday's the day before the Super Bowl. So this week I've started playing trips. I think I'm going to be free. I started to
Hashtag journalism humor.
I've started to look at beaches.
You want to switch? Okay. All right.
People watch are like, oh, they're laughing. They're having a good time.
Brian LeBird says, you guys do a pretty good job at asking Andy questions, Therese. You'd have to waterboard Andy to get more info out of him.
And even then, he would be a patriot.
Our friend Bobby Tarwash.
Listen, you can go down with the listen. Listen.
You keep pummeling me with this waterboard.
Are you ready to talk now, Andy? I don't get into all that.
Yeah, we'll get it to you.
Yeah,
That's not how I roll.
no. I hope we're enjoying our last live session from the Dawson room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If our broadband just suddenly cuts out.
I'm sure the Pioli era technology is still in the room.
I'm looking around.
Suddenly we have no wireless signal. It's weird.
Yeah. The test signal, Dave. Get the test signal ready.
Go with the technical difficulties, son.
There's no way we're going to talk this question. Let's just do the best we can. I'm going to read a question.
There's a
Somebody
lot of
answer
questions
it.
you got in front of you.
Yeah, Cindy got this started, by the way.
Thank you, Cindy.
So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to read a question. Somebody answer it. We're moving on. No building on them. Just, okay.
Hit a button.
Never do that.
Bobby Tarwacky says, first offensive snap's going to be all go play action route to tie, right? We can pretty much take that to the bank. I like the slow sarcasm in that. I appreciate it.
You know what? I actually say yes. I think they're
didn't
gonna,
they do that in the preseason, their first preseason?
They did. And what was Alex Smith's first pass after the Kareem Hunt fumble? When they got the ball back, didn't they go right down?
It was right back. It was right.
Oh, I bet Kareem. That's right. But they aired it out pretty quick.
I can't remember that. I just remember that preseason, the first play of the season.
It was. Yeah, that was beautiful.
Yep.
Okay.
Statement
Over under from Jordan Tribe. 15.5 snaps for Revis.
15 and a half? Mm-hmm. I'll go up.
Yeah, over.
Yeah,
I do too. I think he's going to start. Joe Scalliat, what's the theory on where the hell Parker Ehinger's gone?
I saw him in the locker room today.
He's in the locker room all the time.
He exists.
Yeah,
That is great.
He has been. He's been working at tackle during practice. Second team tackle.
So what is
said that last week.
What is the deal?
They need depth there. Who are their backup tackles, right?
Oh, well.
And he played tackle in college.
Well, that's not a good thing because they traded for Cam Irving for him to be the backup swing tackle. So if he's not playing there, maybe they saw what Cleveland saw. That's not good. Okay. They need depth there, but I also think that some of it's like you're dealing powerful guys inside, and like when you're a lineman who snaps an ACL, you don't get to train your legs for a long time. Mm-hmm. So what you don't want is an underpowered lineman on the interior of your defense getting bull rushed every play. Mm-hmm. That's just a theory. Okay, Kyle. Kyle Fisher says, question in caps. Okay. Yes, Alex is missing an open guy sometimes. O-line is meh. Does Andy get no blame? Andy, same problems now as his last 10 years. No? Sam?
I mean, he gets blamed. Sure. Yes, they all do.
I give them Fs every time they lose. I give the coaching Fs every time.
I think, we can all disagree or whatever. Alex, Andy, offensive line. Top 3 orders of blame for the offensive problems. And if Alex was playing well and Andy was calling plays well, the offensive line's problems would really stick out. Like that's all three of them
That's an
are
interesting
really.
concept. You say Alex, Andy, O-line. I might go O-line, Andy, Alex. Maybe I'm too much of an Alex apologist. I think if the O-line was solid,
Yeah.
we wouldn't see any of this.
Okay.
I do. I feel like that too. I think it just does start with the O line,
Mark Bilski.
even though he's got the capacity
agree.
to overcome it. But
Great question. Great. I'm glad you said that because Mark Bilski asked what change can be made on the O line. Well, you get Parker back in there. I'm not sure if Zach Fulton's the answer at guard instead of
I
Witzman.
thought he was. I was hopeful that he was. He
Not
looks
in this
like.
game.
I mean, he looks like that's where he belongs.
He's a better center, I think. I've always
Yeah,
said
I know you've talked about that.
I've been on him as a center.
Again, like Jacksonville or Tennessee or one of these teams is going to sign him, and he'll be really good there as a center. That's my opinion. No, we can let you know, Lance Wharton, when we do these live broadcasts. We do them after every game except Christmas Eve.
Yes.
That ain't happening this year.
It has been determined.
Not happening. Hey, listen, we got things to do on Christmas Eve. Okay, Beth?
So do you.
Yeah, exactly. Let's not act like you guys are going to have that day off, guys. And let me tell you something. I'm not a dad in here, but I will tell you this. Nobody gets screwed harder on Christmas than Dad, okay? So dads out there, when you're getting your tie, you got to take care of yourself. So Christmas Eve, I expect you guys to be in the liquor cabinet, okay? Oh, yeah. All right? Because Dad has to look. Dad's got to look out for himself on Christmas to arm himself because Dad spends so much money and he knows he's about to get a tie and a sock, right?
Just one sock.
You're getting your socks for Christmas and your ties when you're out here buying jewelry and toys.
And playing at beach
and you don't even get credit. But anyway, we do this after every game and then every Wednesday at 2. Unless I have a player interview.
Right.
But that hasn't happened in a little while.
Hasn't happened 5 in the last 6 weeks.
Yeah. Almost done. Thompson Toller says Alex Smith trade value.
I don't know what the last 2 weeks do. I had been thinking like you might be able to get a second.
Third.
They gave up 2 seconds, right?
Yeah.
Is that what they gave up?
You think a third?
Third.
You do? Mm-hmm. Okay. What if it keeps up this way?
I mean, no. I think we're. I was thinking second mid-season.
Me too.
So I don't know now. Third, fourth. The problem is the team that trades for him is not just giving up the pick. They got to pay the guy. That's a lot of cap space you're giving up as well.
All right. Does the defense have to carry us the rest of the way, or will there be an upswing after a loss? I'll answer it. Clinton Petrie. I think if they bounce back, it'll be because the offense got on track somehow.
Yeah.
Andy's pretty good for that. I can't pronounce this. How do you pronounce that?
Lars, I can't read the letters.
Svike. Okay.
We may not have too many Lars on here,
Yeah.
so.
Lars,
thank
do you
Lars.
think? I'd like to try to pronounce the hard ones. It's fun. Do you think even if the Chiefs and Caps lose to the Jets and Raiders, that Alex will start against the Chargers if they're playing for first in the AFC West?
Yes.
I do too. Calvin Jones, where do you think Alex will end up?
I mean, Jacksonville's what everybody's been talking about, but now Eli Manning's going to be available as well. I don't know. A lot of places could use a quarterback.
Denver.
Okay. I would say the Jets, actually. I don't think they're going to be good enough to get Sam Darnold. I think they'll have to take one of these projects, and I think they'll need somebody to buffer. So I'm going to say the Jets.
That's his role. Alex's role would be as a buffer.
Our man Jesse Bates says, late to the party, but thanks for all you guys do. Do you think Ragland's a real deal? We answered that earlier, but I'm answering that, Jesse, because you're loyal and you watch us every week. Yes, I like a lot of what I see from Ragland.
Absolutely.
And even better, I like him as a guy. I think he's got a chance to kind of carry the DJ mantle as, locker room talker and if we had a good media good guy award like they do like in other markets, Derek would win again. Right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Or Alex.
Or Alex, you're right. Yeah.
Either one of those.
It'd be
two.
Derek, Alex, and who else? Is there anybody else we
Chris Jones.
Been a little quiet lately.
Yeah,
Dustin Colquitt.
A little quiet after losses, too, I find.
It'd be somebody that always talks and generally is up. It'd probably be Alex. Alex can never not talk. And Alex does a little little extra sometimes too.
He does. He does. There's not as much asked of this person, who Vahe wrote a terrific story about that you guys all should read. But Mitch Morrison answers all the questions, like win
He's
or
great.
lose as a
Yeah.
pro, with some intelligence, with some thought.
Jordan Tribe, piggybacking off our Andy Waterboard, says, "I tell you, that's too much water." Hey, man.
Slope here.
We're about to start like
That was well done.
we need like honorary A-team members because I think that just got Jordan in the mix. That's pretty good.
Guest spot.
Are we taking applications for an A-team intern? Is that still a thing?
We should. You know what? I have an idea about that. I'm gonna throw that at you guys when this is over. Let's see. Oh, Paul DeSantis, who's also would be in the mix for honorary A-team member. Piggybacking off the Pioli joke, says, "Don't drop any candy wrappers, guys." Yeah. Steve Cashman says, "Right. It's not the water's fault."
This is not just a water thing. That's not where I'm at.
Jesus, you guys are on a roll. This is actually, I'm actually being won over, but the people are winning me over again. That's pretty good.
You don't have a piece of that.
It's also a bucket. It's the towel.
Yeah, we won't be back here again.
Well, what happened? We started making waterboard jokes. It was like it's
I know.
a big thing.
You were there. It was really funny.
Clint Miller says, "How much better does a 50% Revis make the D?" I think he has a chance. Look, I like Revis. I think he's got a chance to help him, man. I think that could be like a real thing. Oh, we have a visitor. That's good. Okay. We do. That's good. Yeah, it's good stuff. John Gordon says, "You think Eli goes to Denver?" Maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe.
bring him
I can see that.
Very interesting.
Oh, Brian LeBird says Christmas rule. When mom's unhappy, everybody's unhappy. When dad's unhappy,
Not Christmas. That's every day of the week.
he wasn't done. He's like, when dad's unhappy, nobody cares.
And that's, again,
Then he finishes it. Brian LeBird, enjoy your tie. All right. This is good. Tommy, we answered Parker Eanger earlier. Let's see. Brian LeBird says, is Hunt being slowed down because of the bad O-line play, or is the year starting to catch up with him? I think it's more the O-line play. Maybe
He doesn't have a chance.
I still wish he would run with his head up a little better and find. I think there's
A little more
holes for-
cutback,
Yeah, a little more cutback ability. A little more.
Perfect. So Jordan Tribe, as an honorary member of the A team, helps us finish this by saying some predictions for Sunday, which we always do to close it out.
All right.
So let's go. What do you say, Blair?
I had the Bills last week. I'm sticking with the visitor. Jets 17-16.
The last time this team went 1-5 in a 6-game stretch, they pulled out of it. I feel like a sucker, but I actually think they're going to win the game, and I'd feel bad for picking against them out of fear, looking like a sucker. I'm actually going to pick them to win. I do think that if they don't win this game, I would not pick them to win another game. So, except that Broncos game in New Year's. There's no way they show up for that. There's no way Denver shows up for that game. But I'm gonna pick the Chiefs to win. I think it'd be an ugly game. It'd probably be 17-13.
I followed you through every one of those little psychological aspects of what to pick here, and I think I'm with you. I actually expect that they're going to lose, but I'm going to say they're going to win 20-13.
27-13 Chiefs because I'm a freaking idiot.
Yeah.
I just believe they're going to break out of it.
Hey,
And I thought the same thing last week. I thought coming out of the bye in Dallas, they'd smoke the Giants. So I don't know what I'm doing. I just feel like it's coming.
I hear you. Lakota Smith says, "Thanks for what you guys do. We appreciate the insight and discussions."
That's cool.
And Marianne Zager says, "Are you guys always this much fun?" No.
No.
Oops. It's not just me.
They get picked up.
Okay.
Do some things for us. This was a season high for in season, middle of the week.
That's amazing.
How about that?
Thanks.
Thank
Thank you very
you,
much.
everybody.
In the middle of the workday. So let's do this. If you watch this, as I can hear myself cackle, if you watch this long, which many of you did, you stuck through this. Do me a favor. Go to iTunes, rate and review our podcast. This will be posted on our podcast. Rate and review that, right? Sports Beat KC. We're up to 130 reviews. That's good, right? But thousands of people watch this and listen to this, each one of them. So we got to pick that up. I'd appreciate that because we're bringing the juice, even though your team's been terrible. Follow us on Twitter. We'd appreciate that. Click on our stories. We'd appreciate that. Right? And video.
Lot.
And videos.
You ought to see this sweatshirt that Dave
It is so good.
It is
Come on. It is awesome.
Name that team.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you can see this.
The Habitants.
Les Habitants.
The Montreal Canadiens with the.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Look at that.
That's
Isn't
a
that
classic.
nice? Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice?
A classic
Very
look from our ace photographer Dave Hewlett, who is part of the A team. So from the five of us, we appreciate you guys. We hope that you had a good Thanksgiving as we all go down to the final stretch here in 2017 on a positive note. 2017, interesting year. Been some, yeah. So
You're feeling very philosophical today.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because I walked in here like,
Yeah.
but that camera comes on apparently.
Yeah.
That's part of having an unpredictable character. That's part of, that's what we need that. It's good. It keeps things fun, live. Okay. Thank you guys. We appreciate you. We'll see you this Sunday. Chiefs, Jets. Let's go.